Welcome back, everybody. It is time for our first match of today. Spear Gaming versus Damwon Kia. Damwon's luck. Can it actually come together today, or will it run out in the wrong time? There's only one more Playday after this. Total 6 points the Damwon Kia can get out of it, and they're going to have to pray to everything that they win everything, and also Sandbox loses everything, or else they'll be knocked out of the running. So let's have a chat about it. I'm Milosh, your host. With me are Anne. She's pretty quick and fresh. He's pretty fresh. Let's have a chat about these two squads, starting off with Spear Gaming. Now, what have they been showing in this case, Jack?
Spear Gaming have kind of been showing that they're a team that got ripped apart. It's pretty much as simple as that. You know, they lost probably two of their best players. No disrespect to literally any of the players that are currently on the roster. And they've had a pretty rough time of things, and it's not necessarily just the losses. It's the nature of the losses. It's how big and how easy they have been to be beaten. And I think that's the big story for Spear is it's the end, you know, it's the end of the stage. It's the end of the year. They're not going to make the major. And unfortunately, I think for them, it's about a big regroup, figure out what the team is going to look like looking kind of forwards. Obviously, they've got some good talent in there. You know, we've seen Crazy Boy when he was on T1 do very well. We've seen Mephi play exceptionally well this stage. In their only win of the game, of the stage, he absolutely popped off, but it's been pretty rough for them.
All right, moving on then to their opponents. Damwon Kia on the other side. A lot of people had high hopes for the squad that needs now to survive to be in the top two. And
yeah, this might be a really big heartbreak for them. A team that was known for their flexibility, and I feel like they're really making issues with that right now. I really want to talk about their entries last week, for example, on Bank. They kept on doing the same thing over and over again. Rin was being zoned in, took the gunfight on Janitor, and then half the time it would work, half the time they would lose. It's like a rinse and repeat. Well, no pun intended. That one, but you're gonna be predictable if you keep on doing that over and over again. Their entries aren't looking as bright anymore as they used to look. Their stats and the ratings aren't looking as good. The team really needs this win today, else they might face a really, really difficult time.
And PGH is joining on the roster, like you're saying, but what happens now with the rankings? Because in stage 2, they were by far and away ahead of everyone.
Yeah, so we've got a graphic to show where they were at in stage 2. And where were they at in stage 2? They were top of the league, 5 wins, 15 points in stage 2. And that little red symbol next to them, 5th place now. That's what that means. So the big story is Damwon Kia, they're on a mad decline. They're on an absolutely mad decline. They've changed out Yas at the start of the stage. PGH stepped in. Yas came back in. Now it's Katsang that's back out. PGH is back in. And I don't know, they're doing the hokey cokey apparently.
Hokey pokey.
So yeah, I'm not sure.
Are they going to turn around? Are they going to turn it around, Jack?
Oh?
Is that what it's all about?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, I don't think they can figure out their issues, and it sucks to see, to be honest, because we've seen Damwon Kia be an absolute powerhouse for the last 15 months.
They've broken Tim's heart, which is, I guess, the red line that nobody should be crossing, just to make it very clear for everyone, right? There you go. Anyways, our map ends for this series. Here's what they look like. Awaiting our matchup to be set as our lobbies being formed up, and it'll be Damwon Kia that'll have the last say, so they decide on their fate. It's Chalet being taken out, and where do they go? Oregon. I want to call Oregon the graveyard of empires. You know, a lot of people call Afghanistan the graveyard of empires is how things are said, and in this case, we always talk about Oregon and Siege as the map that big teams go to lose. I wonder how this one's going to go. Attacking starting side, Spear picking defense, and your thoughts?
This would highly favor Damwon Kia. They already have a win on this stage, on that map against Talon. Spear hasn't played it yet. They do tend to ban it a lot, so either they don't want to play it or they're trying to keep something secret on it, because usually it's also their first ban in the ban phase. So that is seeming to me like their insta-ban. Over the 4 months, they played it and they won 4 out of 6 times. Arguably their best map in recent history, but I would say that Damwon Kia has the favor on this one.
They actually played each other 4 days ago in the Korean Open, where Damwon Kia won 2-0 in a best of 3. Very comfortably. Katsang was not in that game either. Oregon would have been the decider. So we've ended up there in the best of 1. Would have been the decider in the best of 3. I think, you know, both teams obviously knew they were coming here, but I'd agree with Van. I would have to favor Damwon Kia, even though they've got their turbulent issues.
But we said that last week when they played Fav. not only they go to OT, but they lost it in the end against Fav. So let's talk about this here, because not even Damwon Kia can pinpoint what's going on with Damwon Kia, right? So what are the strengths of Spear that they can bring on this game? You talked about the map, that they actually are not too bad on it, but anybody going up against Damwon Kia would have a couple things to fear. What can Spear bring to this?
I really liked their attacks they had on Clubhouse in the beginning of the year. There were 4 rounds that they won, and they basically just floated aside without having too much site control, nor really any influence on the map so far, but that was so explosive, and as you mentioned, for example, supported by Mephi as well, that it worked so well in their favor, and especially against a team like Damwon Kia that looks very shaky, that has had a lot of roster changes, whereas it's not a stable factor, that could really shake things up. So I would like to see some very explosive attacks from Spear, because I think that could be their element that will help them a lot today.
I think there's the potential for that as well, especially if they've done the homework, right? We've seen out of Damwon Kia that they could be very static in their positioning, their play style, running the same things kind of somewhat over and over again with little thought between. So if you're thinking about that and then you're thinking about, oh, Spear, we want them to absolutely explode. If they've done the homework, they should be able to identify areas that they can do that to Damwon Kia and really start to punish any solo positions that Damwon Kia play. You know, Rin plays in a lot of these, you know, suicide positions is the best way to call them. Positions where you're solo, you've not got much utility, you've not got a friend to help you out or trade off of. If they can identify that and play a team fight against those solo positions, I think that's where they'll find their success.
And then you factor in Dokkaebi, and I'm just going to say it. Are teams actually, do they know that there was the change that came yesterday?
I hope
I'm
so.
really wondering. Okay, we're not going to delay too long because we just got the info that the lobby is ready. So, and Fresh, thank you very much. That's Damwon Kia versus Spear Gaming. We're going to toss it to our casters. It's Demo and XR Troika. Enjoy.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much, Milosh. We are going to run you through our first game of the day here. Demo, we have got quite a bit to unpack, I think, in this opening game. Obviously, a little bit of a change last night in terms of a patch came through. So there's things there that we're maybe going to see.
Patch. The way you said that, I don't know. You're excited today?
I'm excited today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, this game, for all intents and purposes, it means a lot.
I'm holding back the energy for the next game, of course.
Obviously, I mean, yeah.
Naturally.
I'm going to have to rein you in a little bit, I think. I'll just try and rein you in, because I know that you're chomping at the bit to get into CAG.
Might be a mediocre cast for me today, a bit like the way Damwon Kia is at the moment, Ollie.
I mean, it would suit the way that Damwon has played, wouldn't it? You know, that social vote, 83% there for Damwon. I think, had they had a slightly better season, that might have been a little bit higher. A game here that means not a great deal for Spear Gaming. We've seen the graphic. We know that they can't qualify for the major. Damwon Kia, they're on a hope and a dream. They are awaiting results of other fixtures, but they still need to go out and put a performance in today.
Still need to win today. They don't get the 3 points, they're done. They are done. So, I mean, suppose Spear Gaming, they can probably sit there and say, let's take them with us. You're coming with us down into the grave.
Let's see what we get in terms of bans here. We get the Twitch removed from Spear.
So we do go Oregon, Ollie, which is, you know, back to basics essentially for Damwon Kia, isn't it? When have you ever seen Damwon Kia have the choice between Oregon or Chalet, and then they ban Chalet? That was a staple map for that side, so I think that tells a lot about where they are and where they see themselves at the moment. Again, there's been another change. PJH is back. Katsang is gone.
Yeah.
This constant switching and changing of players throughout the season has really hindered them as well, because there's no consistency there.
I think that's something that you could discuss as a broader topic for APAC North in general. You know, teams that have fielded a consistent 5. We've seen roster changes and sort of, not roster changes in terms of team players leaving, but certainly different players playing every week in multiple different teams across the whole league. So I think that's where you start to, and it's very alien to us, isn't it, right? Of course. You know, we look at EU and we think, same 5 all the time, build synergy, build a team. It is something that, you know, other games and other teams do like to change things up. They have a 6-man roster, a 7-man roster.
There is a team in APAC North who have not changed a roster in, what, nearly 3 years at the moment?
Who would that team be?
Some team.
A team that you're particularly fond of? Could it be, potentially? We've got a smoke ban there thrown into the mixture as well.
Yeah, these bans are funky.
Interesting.
Twitch ban, first of all, is already just it's blatant crutch ban.
It is.
Blatant crutch ban.
It is.
For who? I don't know.
Probably for Yas. I would gauge.
Anyone can play Twitch.
But yeah, the Cade ban with the Thatcher open is always one that will sort of boggle my mind, especially with secondary EMPs. It does make things a little bit easier, I guess. The Ying ban makes a lot of sense. Ying can be very
on Oregon,
explosive
especially,
on Oregon.
yeah.
But the smoke ban.
The smoke's good because immediately look at who they have chosen in their lineup. They brought the Monty in. So surely taking blue is going to be easy as pie.
It should
So
be
easy.
very straightforward at this point. You kind of have to try and replace that smoke somewhere as well. And, you know, do you do it with one operator? Do you do it with two? We've got the Warden there with the shotgun. You've got the Goyo canisters.
Which is nice, but it's not like...
But you still need the deployable shield.
You're not going to do a lot of damage compared to what smoke canisters do with the Monty, where you can trap them in, whereas,
Exactly.
you know, the flames do less damage. And
Spear have been forced into the Warden pick, and with Ying not available, you kind of say, oh, why are you picking the Warden? You know, obviously you're going to be able to look through the smoke and stuff like that, which is something that we're probably going to see here, given that there's a couple of smoke canisters available. But no hard breach demo.
They do have hard breach.
Gadget.
Secondary gadget on Nook as well, and some no nades, which is probably what they're lacking. So it's a little bit unusual of a lineup. Well, not in terms of who they're bringing, but the gadgets that the operators have. You know, maybe you'd be looking at the buck hard breaches instead, and then bringing the nades.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a little bit something new. See if it works though.
Well, Yasser's already got himself into tier 3. We've got PJH clearing out here.
It's a slow approach, isn't it?
Meeting. Not really going to be anybody in terms of aroma that you're going to have to try and deal with here. You
just staircases.
don't have the typical pressure on the staircases, but looks as though Damwon Kia have got a very quick read on what is actually available to them here.
Yeah, so it's a good approach from Damwon Kia, taking it nice and slow, using that Monty, doing most of the drone work just himself, just walking through. You don't need to have somebody else that. You know, it's very proactive information that you can get from the Monty, as we know. Spear Gaming not wanting to go for a roam game, happy enough to anchor on site. But I would say this is probably where Damwon Kia want to be, Ollie, is they have half the round still to go. They can move in, get the hatches open, they can start rotating towards blue, and they know that they're not up against the smoke, so it gives them even more time to get this blue push successful.
It's probably where you want to be, but you'd probably also like a couple of nades in back pocket, because I'm looking at those Kiba barricades and I'm thinking they're going to be a problem. No one is going to be able to deal with them.
They've really got nothing, haven't
and
they?
they're going to slow you down. Freezer is a maze. We're already seeing Mephi getting more of those Kiba barricades out. He's got one there at the bottom of those back stairs. We'll start to see a couple of hatches going. I mean, deal with that if you can. It's impossible without a nade. You're going to have to take some horrible gunfights in order to root the player out of the angle.
That's nice, getting rid of the Goyo canister early on. It does then probably leave Monty out there with about 20 seconds to push in. They have fully reinforced Ollie up the elbow right now, and there will be the first pick for Damwon Kia. I think that was expected. That pillar battle always comes into play. The Goyo canisters will start to get popped. Maybe Damwon Kia are just going to try and ignore that and just go for the kills. Ren finds one, but then will be traded out with the shotgun. NL in a great power position, Ollie, but no! Coed swings around, finds his man. Yas tries to hit them in Freezer, and it's just back and forth now into a 1v2. It's all down to a Goyo inside of the closet. Monty is here, going to try and push in for the kill. Hit fires come in, he goes for the ADS, but Coed just jumps through with the shotgun. Oh, that was close, Ollie. That could have been a disaster.
A scrappy round certainly there at the end, and I think that there was only one way that that was ever going to go, Demo. With the equipment that Damwon had available to them, they had no other option.
It was a good play.
Really ballsy gunfights.
Go for it, yeah.
And they had to play off the back of that Monty information. I think the PJH has done a class job there on the Monty. Kept himself alive right until the bitter end. Found out that last player was able to provide a little bit of distraction. I mean, going up against the Monty, it's horrible.
Of course, yeah.
So, you know, they did a really good job of using what they had available to them. Could they have brought better and more meta utility? Of course they could, but they got the job done. They were able to successfully win downstairs in basement, and it forces Spear Gaming into a rotation.
Does indeed. I think for the most part from Spear, it was... Obviously, it was a close. Came down to a 1v1. You know, it was very back and forth for the trades. I think probably the main issue was there was no real pressure on holding Highway, because we seen, I think, was it Rin? Just walk down Highway and just shot Wamai and Freezer for absolutely free. How that has happened, I'm not sure, but it has happened. Just little moments like that. I'm not saying it's an overarching, you know, issue that they had in that round, but it's just the little things. How are you allowing somebody just to push down Highway whenever there's, what, 4 people still alive in the defense?
Yeah. The timing really worked out quite well for Damwon. I don't think they could have expected much better timing there in the way they took their engagements. And I think Crazy Boy had taken a little bit of damage in the engagement in Freezer anyway. It was a shoulder bullet that sort of sealed the deal. So there wasn't too much damage required to take him out. see how Damwon Kia approach round number 2. Sticking to a fairly different lineup given, given what we saw last time. I'm much more fond of this. We've got some nades, we've got some Rotero drones, and we've also got Yaps getting himself into tier 3. Immediately taken out there, Roy Boy. No flies on him. Woogieman will be there for the refrag. So the ground has been taken, but it has come at a little bit of a cost.
Where's your angle grip? Or is it? ADS too slow. To be fair, great refrag though, it has to be said, from Woogieman. But still, you would have liked to have taken that without losing anyone. So, to be fair, if you're Roy Boy, you're probably thinking, I got my one, I got my kill.
Oh, I don't like that in ranked. I got my kill. Did you get yours?
Rank's different though. I think whenever you're playing in Big Tower, you're there to die.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You can get a kill.
You'd also like to burn a bit more utility.
I suppose, but he probably wasn't expecting that. You know, Damwon Kia's way of dealing with a Big Tower is unusual because generally it is flashbangs, nades, coordinate, yada yada yada. They went for a Mariana window. Very different.
Seeing those Rotero drones tear up the site utility now. We've already removed a deployable shield. Potentially a bulletproof as well, and the bulletproof is actually still going to be there. Just looking down long. Woogieman in a good position here. He's got the chance of pushing through that attic at any time, and with the breach now open, PJH can start to see if he can find any angles on it. We need to try and force this pit player into a little bit of discomfort. But NL is very aware that Woogieman is likely going to be on the flank, or at least somebody. Air jabbed off at the bottom as well, so no worry of a flank. But 2 nades getting caught by Wamais. You've still got 5 flashes available. Make that 4 now as Rin's going to fall. Crazy Boy picks up kill over onto that Flores and removes any further Rotero drones.
I think they need a rotate from elsewhere. I think they need somebody double window, somebody pushing up white stairs. You just cannot attack Spear Gaming from one direction. It's not going to work. And Damwon Kia, they're suffering from that. Look at all the utility that's stacked up just the one side off the map. Spear Gaming are happy enough to sit back, waste even the Kiba barriers because they know that they have all the time in the world. They have the man advantage. All the pressure is going to be on Damwon Kia. And yeah, Spear Gaming have just slaughtered them, Ollie.
It's very difficult to sort of deal with now because you look at that bulletproof and you think it's still up from the start of the round. We knew where that was right at the beginning. Woogieman, 4 seconds, 4 kills? I don't think so. Be a very tall order here. Might find himself an exit frag, and he will do. Picks up his 2nd kill there on the round. 1 for 1 demo.
Yeah, poor round from Damwon Kia. Really, Spear Gaming, did they do anything flashy? Did they do anything that you'd sit there and maybe Jack would do a telestrator on? No, because what they've done is just simple siege. They've sat back, they've used their utility well, and that's why it always has been in Siege, Ollie, in terms of defense and attack, is defenders, they're always going to be at the advantage because they have the time on their side. It's all up to the attacking prowess. That's what we say, especially whenever you look at Grassroots Siege, we look at Tier 3, we look at Tier 2. Attacks is where you're going to win games. If you can attack better than your opponent, you probably will win. Anyone can defend. It takes something special for a team to attack.
Is it the same as anybody can clutch?
Of course. Oh, to be fair, we've seen, I think, some really good clutches this stage. We've seen some good siege from these kind of positions that you just don't expect to see teams win from, and I think teams have done really well in that regard this split.
A little bit of a technical pause here. We've got some funky camera angles here, haven't we? We've gone from the grubby camera of, you know, just being able to see like a hand in like a very, almost looks like a Blade Runner-esque kind of film. You know, it's very red, it's very blue, it's very dark, and now we've got a sort of like a real upward angle on Sayora there. Not entirely sure what the pause is going to be for here.
Somebody went out.
We've lost a player from the lobby, so we're going to get them back in. It's a shame, isn't it, Demo? Because we called for a little bit more structure, a little bit more sort of utility in round number 1 from Damwon. They didn't need it. They won the round. They bring all that sort of utility, and they bring a little bit more, not necessarily structure, but they bring more of a firmer idea. We got the Rotero drones, we had the nades, we had a few little things, and they lose the round. And I think that exchange of utility was just so muddled. The Wamai being allowed to get all those magnets out for free and the magnets not being burnt was a really big problem. We commented at those 2 nades just getting sent in through breach. And they were going for the pit player, sure. However, when both of them get caught out by the Magnet, we still see utility remaining after this Flores drone's left.
I don't think they were going for the pit player. I think all Down1K were headlocked into getting was a bulletproof. They wasted, what, 3 Flores drones?
But the bulletproof was on the kid's door.
It was, and he was trying to ricochet off the wall to then land and bounce.
A little bit of ping pong.
That's what they were going for. The issue is, it's not the case of, you know, utility, and you said about the lineup choices. It was the way that they used that utility. They fired all through one door.
Yeah.
Whenever you attack kid's bedroom, it is a very claustrophobic site if you're a defender. As soon as somebody is on big window, that makes the bomb site very difficult to hold just in general. So why are Down1K not using that? You just can't have 3 people pushing through the breach. What, you had 1 guy towards Big Tower, Woogieman was sat there for forever. Never once did he ever step an attic, which makes no sense to me. Why is he over there if he's not actually going to do something?
I would have liked a bit more from Woogieman there.
You cannot attack from one way in that bomb site. You need to hit them from all angles. You need to squeeze
here we go.
Those players.
We're getting a bit of a rush here. We've got the blitz in through blue. PJH is actually able to get around that. The Lion scan came out and made sure that everyone was known.
Oh, I like that from Woogie.
Explosion at the start of the round. It has allowed Down1K to take some very quick ground here. They've got good control over blue, but what are they going to do with it now? Burning that Goyo canister out to allow a little bit more free passes. We do have a shotgun play on these back stairs. Roy Boy may be looking for something a little bit more close range. But we see that Spear are dug in deep. They don't really need to move here. We need some pressure coming in from elsewhere from Down1. No one initially showing over in the freezer, although Woogieman is going to be making that rotation now. Activates his ability. But again, just playing a little bit too passive, Demo. I think he needs to go in and be a bit more aggro there.
There's nobody holding him. There's nobody behind the mirror window inside a freezer, and Down1K, they're just trying to force their way in through pillar. But Mephi opens up with the first pick. PJ still being able to do a bit of information spotting, but no, that's an impact grenade, Ollie, that's downed him. What's happened for Down1K? If you're going for the rush, commit to it. You've stalled out, and as soon as you stall in a rush, Ollie, it's like going down a hill. You're just gonna keep rolling backwards.
We do find a couple of kills here, but as you say, the rush is now not on anymore. Yas is going to be able to stun out and see if he can revive PJH here to at least get the blitz back up and running. Those keeper barricades are causing a little bit of a problem. Woogieman's actually made his way over into meeting now as well. Freezer was so free. It's a shame to see him make that rotation because he's just going to be greeted by a mirror window here. And a barricade even before he gets there.
I don't really know where they go now if you're Down1K. Obviously 50 seconds, you have the man advantage. If your blitz is still alive, albeit not a lot of HP, I wonder if Siora's C4, is that going to be a game changer? It certainly could be as you're trying to go in for that default plan. What was that? That was an aid out of nowhere, and it has got a successful down. Yas has been able to find Mephi. We see the pickup, but now both of them stuck inside of the closet. Woogieman drops. Will find his third of the round. Sayora C4 toss, but to no avail. PJH will get that diffuser down, and Woogieman, I was really worried for a big portion of that round just what he was doing. But wow, he's proven me wrong all over the quad kill.
He has. Woogieman's played fantastically there. I think we both criticised him quite heavily in the heat of the moment. I think there was probably a prox alarm or something like that inside a freezer that was stopping him from pushing down. But you do just feel under that much distraction, under that much pressure being felt elsewhere, you could have probably got around that prox alarm. You could have probably just pushed on through it, seen if you can pick up your kill, and work from there. But he played it a little bit more passively, and it did eventually work out. Damwon really teasing us there with a rush that turned out to not quite be a rush in the end.
It's just scrappy siege, isn't it, at the moment? That's what it feels like. Really, either round can go any which way. Well, probably apart from the only round that Spear Gaming's won, which I think was very decisive. But at the moment, Down1K, well, I mean, they're picking up their attacks, Ollie, which is where they want to be.
Demo, talk to me. It's time.
Here we go.
It's time.
New changes.
Doc and Rook.
Double French.
On
We're
the
back.
same defending
We are back.
lineup. Where has this been all our lives?
And an echo.
This is, for anyone that's not seen this, I'm not saying that this is now meta, but it's certainly a little bit more viable. You're essentially bringing a lot of health.
I haven't seen Double French in God knows how long. Double French used to be a big staple back in 2017
well, it was an
on Old Chalet on top floor.
It was a big ACOG thing as
Double
well,
French
wasn't it?
was big back then, but at the moment, yeah, it's It never really was, because Rook didn't really do anything. Doc didn't really do anything. Both of them getting big changes. Rook now, you can withstand yourself, you can revive yourself, and Doc insta-heals. And also revives, I suppose, but yeah. Wow.
Zafir 2.0.
Here we go. And also, you take less damage from explosives.
Yes,
Right.
that's the
Which is actually
the plates,
a good
isn't it?
one, yeah.
Which, of course, allows you to not bring a Jaeger. Which is a bit of a shame, because Wamai has been doing bits, I think, for Spear.
The first stim, the first one. We've witnessed a historic moment today, Ollie. Part of history.
PJH, getting caught out on the camera here, he's going to get swung. He knows where a couple of people are, and he's probably just trying to feed that info through. Still plenty of util to burn through here. Yas going to start to make his way around.
It's a P90, by the way.
Just hopping into the Flores drone, seeing if he can remove maybe that Kiba barricade. Well, unfortunately for him, it doesn't get too far at all.
Jammered, I think. I mean, they're doing good at the moment, just holding out, aren't they? But in comes the Monty. PGH is in. Ciara not threatened by him at the moment. Well, actually, trying to take the challenge against the Monty is PGH, playing very risky, even with the unshield Ollie. It is a dangerous game that he's playing, and doesn't get punished. No! What's going on? Is anyone going to follow up? PGH is in the spin cycle. Finally, Yas will come in and help him, but oh, Ollie, what's happening in the showers?
What a damn one doing. PJH as the Monty there should be screaming for a bit of assistance. He's in a 1v1, and it's 5v5. 2 kills eventually are found. Royboy going to go for a little bit of a cheeky run out here, pick himself up a freebie onto Coated. Coated just hopping in the drone at a pretty inopportune moment there. Well, PJH, he's in the side demo. He's just waltzing around.
Echo cams.
There is going to be a yokai, which is going to be a bit of a problem for him. But Woogieman can be coming in to assist now. The plant starting to go down here. Woogieman did see the drop, but he can start to use this Keeper Barricade to his advantage as well. Mephi wins an important engagement there onto Rim, but the diffuser is still going down here. Woogieman desperately trying to keep a hold of it. Yas grabs the player that was pushing through. Long, another big kill, allowing that plant to go down successfully. Mephi going to challenge onto Showers now, picks himself up one onto Yas, looks for a little bit more. Royboy, he's occupying behind that bulletproof shield, but PJH can still play spoiler here. He can just sit in the side demo and call out for his team. Woogieman got a great angle here on the stairs as Royboy does eventually take out the Monty. Now it is a game of chicken. You've got to try and get yourself on that diffuser, and Royboy's going to do just exactly that. Woogieman, he's being held. He's got no chance of pushing through. Gets a couple of shots in, but can't land the finishing blow. Now jumps onto the diffuser. Not going to be enough time to come off again. You've got to land your shots here. Gets him down. The revive comes in, but it doesn't matter. The time was running out anyway. Goodness gracious, Demo. Damn on gear. They hold on.
Where do you begin? Where do you begin? What
a
round. What a round.
What a round to showcase Doc. And what Doc is now capable of.
I mean, they did lose.
They did lose. However, I love it. I love the Doc pickup.
That was so close. So, I mean, all credit to Damonkia there. Just steadying the ship for the majority of you know, start off very rocky in the beginning. We've seen the Monty just, I mean, what do you say about Monty in showers with nobody to help? Somehow been able to make out they're alive. I think PJ did really well to then just walk in the site, see, oh, it's open. Walk in, get the diffuser down. But obviously all of that came down to Woogieman. An incredible 1v2 clutch that he had there. I just thought for a moment, as soon as he killed, was it the Izami? And also credit to Mephi. Mephi was the only thing that was keeping them in that round for Spear. There was just a slight moment where I thought that he's not going to get this and the diffuser's going to happen. But he just seen just a knee and just one stray bullet hits him. Oh my goodness.
Well, back to the only side that Spear Gaming have won so far. Back up to this top floor. We're seeing the Rook and the Doc again be brought. Now, this is where I start to worry, because Azami was such a big part of this last round, and so was the Wamai. Those two things, in conjunction with one another, really assisted Spear.
Especially now if you look at the positioning just early on from Damonkia. There's a sledge outside double window, an area that we kind of mentioned. That needs to be targeted. That needs to be addressed by Damonkia. They need to try and apply more pressure and add an extra layer onto the attack. So without those keeper barriers, what's going to stop the sledge just from getting these clear sight lines and really cutting that bomb site in two?
It looks as though Damwon were expecting to go up. Ooh, very nice from PGH. Does just pick out.
He's getting stuck in, isn't he? He's getting stuck in. I mean, he's not afraid
He's
today.
only on the Thermite demo. He's only picking up entries.
I know, but
on
he's
the
also
Thermite
been in the Monty. He's just straight in.
With the diffuser in hand. You know, he's really...
We've seen in the showers him and Monty. He's a dangerous man.
He doesn't care, does he? Absolutely fearless.
Nerves of steel, that man.
It looks as though Damwon were expecting that sort of similar utility soak lineup, though, given what they've brought. They've brought a couple of nades this time. They've gone for a little bit of something slightly different. Yas
versus Royboy.
thinks he's found himself a freebie here, but the stairs are being held.
Bomb located by attackers.
It's not going to be the easiest kill to pull off, especially with the angle that's available to him. Royboy's likely going to see Yas's head before Yas gets to see his.
Yeah.
Just going to have to wait for the opportune moment here.
Oh, he's dropped now, and he's sneaking in towards Attic. He's going for the reinforcement. No, he tights it.
Oh, Yas. Unforgivable. Misses the shot, slightly fluffed it. I think he thought he'd got the kill and kind of stopped.
He on ADS for a moment there,
because he just seemed to stop mid-fight, but Royboy was fearless. He was not letting go of that reinforcement.
This game, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the match today. This game's going to kill me off before then.
I think Royboy can count his lucky stars there, knowing that he's got away with that one. Juiced himself back up to full.
God, it's just my kind of siege. It really is.
It really neutralises what Yas is able to do from there now, though, because
he has no heart breach gadget.
No heart breach.
He only has the nades this time.
He's got the nades, so PGH is going to have to make a rotation round.
Yeah, that's good.
Going to try and open this up with an exothermic and look to put a bit more pressure onto Royboy. It's just going to force him back through pit a little bit, or maybe he's going to play a little bit more aggro. He's going to stick around. I'm not sure if there's going to be a drone on him here. No, they don't know.
He's going to get 2 kills.
They think he's deep. He's going to pick up a couple here. He waits patiently. It's rewarded. Gets the diffuser down as well. Can ping that out for his team. And this has put Damwon into a very ropey situation. Rin trying to pull things back now. Pushes in through pit. But Royboy, all he's got to do is try and hold on. Rin picks up the frag. Removes the Banshee. But 5 seconds demo. It's not a lot of time. And you're in a 1 versus 2. The plant might go down. But realistically, it's going to be stopped. Mephi with the P90 is going to see things said and done. What a round from Royboy demo.
Oh, P90s? Is that the meta? Is this where we're at? Unforgivable there from Damwon Kia. Just the time got away from them. It's really, really difficult to swallow for Damwon Kia, where you've just kind of ran into the same issues where just the utility isn't being done. This time the drone work wasn't even done. What, you know, it seems to be a worse round than what it was last time.
Yeah.
They've topped that. How? I don't know.
There were too many assumptions. There were far too many assumptions. There was an assumption that Royboy had gone all the way through into pit. Drone it. But they'd run out of time.
No time. I'll be honest, I feel as if he should be dead.
I think he's been done there, hasn't he?
I think he has.
This was patience of a saint, though.
Hip fire and all.
It's not easy to wait and watch players walk past you. The reinforcement animation is a strange one, because I think there's a part of the reinforcement that's almost invisible, as it were.
5 seconds remaining.
And it's almost a little bit ahead of what it actually is in terms of the cycle. So you can't just shoot at the top and it go through the top, because it's already in the action of a reinforce. It's probably a very difficult sort of thing to really figure out, just where you can shoot a bullet versus where is going to get stopped by the reinforcement that's going up. He was too slow. Too slow.
Last round of the half, and we will see now the 4th bomb site being played, Ollie. So we've been everywhere for Spear Gaming. This time it will be the meeting. Damwon Kia, I wonder what their approach is going to be. It was very clear that all they wanted to do was a very minimalistic take on the other 3rd choice bomb site, where it was just very clear-cut, pushing in into showers, then just simply planting inside of dining. This time, they're going to actually have a bit of a challenge on their hand. They're looking for a clear upstairs, Ollie. Keeper barrier is a bit of an issue for Woogie Man, trying to hold the cross, stop anyone pushing up white stairs. That will just stop him for the meantime. But PGH, I do worry he's doing a good job, Ollie, upstairs, but he's by himself again. I do worry about this.
This is what I worry about. I don't mind Amonte going in and playing human drone. Just don't give him the kit. Just leave that outside. Just give it to someone else for the time being. We can always swap it over at a later stage. But PGH, he's got the most steps in so far in this round. He has got himself outside and can allow the rest of Damwon to come in and start ripping open some of this floor.
I'd love that for a stat. Most footsteps travelled. Would that not be incredible?
We need to get little trackers on him, don't we? We need the heat map. We've been talking about the heat map for a long time. Who's your midfielder? Who's going from end to end?
I mean, at the moment, PGH just isn't stopping, is he? Putting in a right shift. Coated needs to be careful. There's C4s still around, and he could be picked off very easily. Mephi, again, just that constant force at the moment. Force Spear Gaming will find one, but very swiftly refrag. That's 2 kills in the space of 5 seconds for Damonkia. The Monty PGH! He's going to find his second kill. Ollie finds it down. Hold on a minute. There we go. Secures that kill. Damonkia just like a train, dismantling this bit of aggro that Spear Gaming are trying to gain back some map control.
Sayora is primed and ready for this top floor push. Coated.
Ready for him.
Looks like he's aware. We're going to see the Lion scan come through. It's going to root him in place for at least a moment. NL, he's got a horrible job ahead of him on the site. PGH can push it and he can start to get a plant down at any time now. Just a little bit of drone work here from Woogieman just to ensure where this final player is. Sayora will pick up one onto PGH, but instantly traded. Still enough time here, 25 seconds or so, as NL is going to start that rotation. There's going to be a drone just at the top of those freezer stairs, which could spot him out, but a well-timed Lion scan will guarantee that this plant does go down. Oh,
there's a case right there.
Unfortunate stuff. You can see the case, but you can't see the man. NL going to get swung here in a second by Rin, as Rin just dips himself back into showers, and eventually will finish him off. Damwon end up taking that tertiary site.
Yep. Just using the Monty to great effect. They knew exactly what they wanted. Damonkia, very clear cut in that round. Spear Gaming, they tried a bit of a retake. They tried the challenge in towards Dining. Just didn't work out. They just got shut down, didn't they, from all these different angles. One thing as well that I think we'll start to see if Rook is going to become a new staple is we're actually going to see, you know, whenever the final defender dies, he doesn't die anymore. He just gets downed. Remember, like Sophia in the 1v1s? She just gets down now.
It does make for a confusing...
Sometimes, yeah, it's like, hold on a minute.
You're like, who's left alive? How can they win this? Oh, they can't.
So 1v4, how's he been downed?
Yeah.
He should be dead. I wonder if we're going to see a withstand from the Rook.
I only remember seeing one significant withstand.
And we all know who done that. Mullet Boy.
It was it on Clubhouse?
No, it was on Consulate.
Oh, well, there must be 2 then, because I remember one on.
No, I remember Users and Consulate. He was upstairs inside of in meeting, and he withstood and killed the guy trying to defuse in the lobby.
At any rate, we're likely to see one.
Seconds remaining.
Switching sides, Damwon successful on the attack, 4 rounds.
A lot of Monty today. Roy Boy, straight on it. I mean, to be fair, with Smoke being banned out, why not?
Take the advantage.
What do you have to fear? Not a lot of C4s today either, which I think is a good thing to mention. I think just there's other operators on board. Obviously, we've seen Double French be played, we've seen Echo be played today. Spear Gaming not really interested in more of, I think, the kind of classic meta operators that we're used to seeing.
Spear played a little bit of Goyo, didn't they? But it didn't really net them too
one
many
C4
results.
in the lineup, is that really the norm? Usually 2, isn't it?
Yeah. See if Damwon opts for a little bit of Goyo action. This would be, of course, one of the sites where you would expect it a little bit. Royboy getting himself a bit of free intel there. Unfortunately for him, no one to really act on it.
Oh, good pings. Frostmats, 2 of them being spotted out. That'll help Roy Boy. I suppose that is one issue that if you're a Monty, you do have to be careful for, of course. Good old Frostmat. But Damonkia. Eventually they're going to have to move. I think Rin, yeah. There he goes. He's gone. So Damonkia not wanting to hang around. I think it's just the fear of the Monty. Obviously, you're going to expect some utility to be tossed in, but I think it's the fact that there's just constant information. They know exactly where you are. I think just adds an extra addition into it. Woogieman, he will open up with the first pick. Mephi goes down. That's the Iana gone, Ollie.
A little bit of a loss there. Royboy still able to gather a ton of info for free here, but there's no one really on his shoulder to take good advantage of it. Yas can start to try and plug some of these gaps up with the Kiba barricades, although NL has been able to make a successful breach. Kiba barricade just going to slow him down ever so slightly, but when one is gone, another is replaced, and a pocket reinforcement from Yas. It's a nice little touch there. It's going to make things even more difficult here. A little bit of flank watch protection being deployed. Coated, threatening with a C4 there. Spear just forced into yet another breach. All this is doing is burning the clock quite nicely as well. There's going to be a nice little Frostmat on the other side of that. So, of course, with it being a hop-in, you are going to be susceptible to it. And you don't really want to be looking down at that moment, do you, Demo?
No. Not at all. 45 seconds.
Oh, it's not been droned either.
They need, no, they did. They droned it on early on because we've seen the red pings. They definitely did. They know it's there. They definitely did. Yeah, they did. So, I mean, the main issue now with Spirit is just, do they have enough time? 30 seconds to go. Nobody's really making a push in at the moment. PGH in a great position just to hold the breach. Can see the Monty. His position now will be known. NL, just all he needs to do is get himself in, but I don't think PGH is going to allow him to cross. He's in a great position, a great angle.
You look at Rin's positioning as well now. He's just going to start to make his way up those back stairs. Don't think that Nomad actually got into that situation to put anything down, but we are going to see the plant under the cover of the Monty. Rin will activate though, takes down Seora. We're going to see a flash over the top, but it's not going to be enough. The kills flood in for Damwon. They were just happy to wait for Spear to come to them. Great little flank from Rin, netting him 2 kills there. It was perfect position to deal with that plant spot as well.
Phenomenal flank. Phenomenal. Being able to shut down the man in Attic, and the whole point of having somebody in the Attic is to stop somebody swinging into kids, to then stop somebody swinging onto your player, planting the diffuser, tucked into the corner at the Attic door. You lose one, the whole tower collapses, and that's exactly what happened for Spear Gaming. Where is the flank protection? Big tower flank? How? How?
There was a Nomad as well. Unforgivable.
Explain yourself.
Do we put him on trial?
Who's the jury?
We'll be the jury. Or do we need to be the judge?
Maybe chat should be the jury. Chat.
Chat could be the jury.
Is it unforgivable?
I think it's unforgivable.
Type Ollie if it's unforgivable. Type demo if you let it slide.
Would you let it slide?
No, I'm typing Ollie all day of the week.
Downstairs we go. We do have the Goyo this time for Damwon. A little bit of potential for a roam there as well, coated on the alibi. Maybe see him get himself active around the map a little bit. Although for the meantime, he's just going to be setting up the site with that old bailiff.
It's just Damwon Kia. Again, coming back to the main overarching point of this game. Damwon Kia just need a win. They need a win, and they need to hope that things go their way. Obviously, at the moment, it's not much you can say apart from we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But at least they can say that they've done what they could.
And that's the shame, isn't it? They can play as well as they like here in this
It's not down to them. They've missed their chance.
And then they're going to watch the rest of the Playday through.
It's the worst feeling in the world. You never want your fate to be in the hands of somebody else's.
A little bit of info there on the drone. Woogieman just getting himself caught out in Attic. Be out and about at the minute. He's got a couple of options. He's got a hatch open that he can drop into. Got a couple of holes in the floor as well, should he need. It looks like he's going to get himself into an engagement here. He's been droned a couple of times now as a stun comes in. Somebody going to be underneath the hatch, maybe to catch him. First kill comes in for PJH. Mephi now turns his attention to Woogieman. He knows that he's dropped and a bit of shots are exchanged. Woogieman gets a good amount of damage. Will keep himself alive for the time being. Scurrying himself down Freezer. For Damwon, mission accomplished. They've wasted a little bit of time there, and it hasn't cost them all too much.
And they only get the kill for it, which I think is the important thing. If you get a kill on the Oregon basement kind of roam game that you set up, it's massive, because Crossfires is the name of the game whenever we look at basement. It's all about having that numbers advantage, being able to refrag off each other. If we just keep going refrag, 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 the Damwon Kia will be left with one player, and that means they win.
It's a numbers game, Demo.
It is. It is.
Really is a numbers game. Still good progress from Spear. They've got the hatches open. They're looking to gather a bit of info now
they need kills,
as to what's going on to the site. But with only a couple of nades in pocket, it isn't going to be too easy to try and break through some of these defensive setups. You can see Kiba barricades just being deployed almost by the second here. As I mean, you just look at the picture that Yas has got there. He's got an ADS, he's got a Goyo canister, he's got a Kiba barricade. He's got so much to play in and around. Time continues to tick here. You start to question things like the Jackal pick. You know, was Jackal really necessary to root out that roam game? It didn't really work out too well for you. You'd like something with a little bit more oomph behind it now in the final 30 seconds.
Seora looking for the backstab. Freezer fully reinforced off Ollie. It does give him the go-ahead just to take that 1v1 challenge if anyone is going to be in Freezer, but nope, nobody's there. PGH will find NL. Seora, you need to make a move here. Roy Boy with a shotgun will blast the man in pillar, but there's the refrags. Damwon Kia holding firm. That's the crossfires I mentioned, Ollie. That's what it's all about. Damwon Kia They've locked themselves in a point, but I would expect that another 2 will be following that very shortly.
Match point for Damwon. Really not coming up against much obstacle there on that basement defense. They're just looking a little bit of a different class. I think this is more akin to the Damwon that we were expecting, isn't it?
Look at PJH's little guy.
So I imagine that you've got that one as well.
Oh, every time those Rick and Morty bundles that came out, immediately bought. Yeah. Not even a second of a doubt.
Which the thermite and the smoke, I think you used to run, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still do.
Horrible.
And you have the sledge and the ace, and obviously the dock and the fuse. Staff Hub's seen too many of those.
It really has.
Mm-hmm.
Well, PJH is going to try his hand at the dock this time.
Too much of Pickle Rick these days.
In this lineup, the dock's not really a bad choice. You bring the bulletproof.
The thing is, and I think it's something that Jack alluded to, it is an operator that has 1.5x and a secondary shotgun. An operator that I see this very similar to is Frost. Frost was never played. All of a sudden, she gets that sidearm shotgun. We've seen that pick rate skyrocket. And it's still, you know, she still is a staple operator at the moment. So any operator with that addition of being able to do a bit of soft destruction, you're in. You've made it. Rin's
looking at the wrong angle. Roy Boy, he's going to punish him for it. Which seems a bit sloppy from Damwon. They've had such a good game so far. We don't need to be going for the
trying to rush. They're trying to rush the win now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just trying to get it over the line, and it just hurts to see a little bit because that was just a freebie given away.
Good ground taken there by Ciora, straight in the small tower, establishing control of Shower. So it looks as if maybe Ollie they're looking for the kitchen plant. Haven't seen any really meeting attacks, no big towers, anything like that that's been involved in the attacks. Yeah, I mean, it's just each to their own, isn't it? You've 2 ways really to attack that bomb site. I still would like to see some rotations upstairs, just in case anyone is above playing on the hatch, perhaps. Is there anyone? There is.
There is.
So they get up there.
Cuts is well protected here as well. Couple of reinforcements. Mute Jammer, little rotation out of there if he needs. He's not going to be the easiest nut to crack up there.
I'm just looking at Mephi right now, outside off that green window. I'm thinking maybe they're going to try and rush into sight, Ollie, with somebody jumping in through that window. Obviously has the Gun 6, has the line scans. Maybe could do something, but I don't know. It's a risky one whenever somebody is in the hatch. Look at Ciora, look at the rotation. The diffuser carrier is now over here. Ollie, yes, that's what they're going to go for. They're going to jump in the window and just try and plant and avoid anyone who could be on the hatch.
Damwon are fairly well positioned to react to this. It really just all comes down to 50-50s and which way PJH is going to choose to go. PJH gets himself a freebie, no drone information, picks up 2, drops the diffuser cold on the ground. Roy Boy, you might be in sight, but you haven't got the kit, my friend. You're going to get swung as well by Woogie Man as the hatch is challenged, but it is not to be. Coated from above, picks up that final kill. Damwon Kia net themselves a full 3 points here today.
It's just never going to work. Never going to work. You're trying to do strategies that don't even work in casual sometimes, Ollie. Moments like that. No drones again, which I think has been a bit of an issue there for Spear Gaming. What can you say? No attacks.
Headlocked into the plan, weren't they? They were not for giving up what they wanted to do.
Instead of just, you know, oh yeah, let's go upstairs. Let's challenge the single one guy, by the way. Instead of doing that, oh, let's just avoid him and rush in and then try and challenge 3 people on site instead. Makes no sense.
Boogeyman, 10-3. What a performance. Fantastic game from Boogeyman. PJH as well.
I love PJH today. Was the stone wall.
Maybe man of the match.
Honestly, as the Monty, the ground he was able to take, he never stopped moving today. Never stopped moving. The information, I'm sure, was critical. Of course, we don't get the privilege of hearing that, but surely the comms today from Damwon must have been good.
It's probably a good job because we wouldn't understand it. I don't think we'd be able to tell what was going on. We're going to throw this one back over to our desk to break it down. I hope you enjoyed it.